setting up a 30-minute practice routine. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at how to structure an effective 30-minute practice routine. To begin, we're going to split up your areas of study into 4 categories. These categories will be warm-ups, skill 1, skill 2, and the final one being songs. You can assign any areas of study into these categories that you wish. Later, we'll take a look at an example of what a practice routine may look like, but for now, let's take a look at the amount of time you'll need to invest in each. Let's assign 10 minutes to warm-ups, 10 minutes to skill 1, 10 minutes to skill 2, and 10 minutes to songs. Straight off the bat, you may have noticed that by adding all these areas in, you're actually left with 40 minutes of practice in total. You may be asking yourself, I thought we were covering the 30-minute practice in this lesson. We are. We'll talk about this in a second. First, let's talk about why I assign each area 10 minutes. While there are certain areas that you cover in 5 minutes flies by too quickly and really doesn't give you enough time to dig in and get any real work done. One thing you don't want to do is work on certain areas for longer periods of time and neglect the other essential skills in the process. This only leads to inconsistent and slow overall progress. Sure, you have mastered the scales, what about the chord changes you can't seem to do smoothly? It's best to progress evenly and consistently through all of your skill areas. Let's now take a look at how to break your 40 minutes of skills into a 30-minute practice routine. So what we're going to do here is break the routine up slightly. We're going to practice certain areas on even days and certain areas on odd days. To start off, we're going to run through the warm-ups and our songs every day. There's 20 minutes going right off the bat. Now what we'll be doing is rotating skill 1 and skill 2 every other day. For example, day 1 would be warm-ups, skill 1 and songs, followed by day 2 being warm-ups, skill 2 and songs. If we were also working on the solo, we could rotate the project song and solo on odd and even days. Let's take a look at what a couple days of practicing in this way would look like. Here's a full practice session. Our warm-ups would be left and right hand exercises. Skill 1 would be working on single note riffs like the main riff in Crazy Train. Skill 2 would be a chord song like Patience by Guns N' Roses, for example. Let's say the song would be Iron Man. Here's how we would break it up now. On even days, we'd practice our right and left hand warm-up exercises, followed by the Crazy Train riff, and finally our song Iron Man. On odd days, we would practice a right and left hand warm-up exercise, followed by Patience this time, and our song Iron Man. If we were also working on the solo for Iron Man, we could break that section up into odd and even days also. We could practice the rhythm for Iron Man on even days, and the solo for Iron Man on odd days. In this case, both the skills and the songs and solo sections would rotate every other day. Another option you could try is to break up your routine into a 3-day cycle. You could work on your even day schedule on day 1, your odd day schedule on day 2, and on day 3, you could review and just jam. It could be your jam day. You could run through your set list of songs, work a little more on your project song, review material you're struggling with, or just jam and have fun. This could be a nice reward for working so hard on the other days. Having these breaks every 3rd day can keep your motivation up and keep you moving forward. If you feel really motivated and just want to keep moving along, you can use the 3rd day to add an additional skill area. Ideally, you should bump up your practice time, but if all you have is 30 minutes, then this routine could really work for you. The concept here is pretty simple. It's just like the routines we have gone over here in this lesson, except we're adding an additional day and skill area. On day 1, we will work on warm-ups, skill area 1 in the project song. Day 2, we'll work on warm-ups, skill area 2 in the project song. In day 3, we'll work on warm-ups. Now we'll add in a third skill area, and finally the project song again. This now allows you to work on 3 different skill areas. Here again is your basic 30-minute practice routine. Remember, if you're working on soloing, you can also rotate to project song and you're soloing on odd and even days. You can add in a third skill area if you want, but the best approach when adding in additional skill areas is to add in additional time to your practice sessions. A 45-minute session would be more ideal. We'll be covering this more in another lesson. So pick a routine, get yourself organized, and get the most out of your 30-minute practice session. In the next lesson, we're going to take a look at adding in additional skill areas and how to set up a 45-minute practice session. So stay tuned.